It's an absolutely wonderful day here in the Sacramento Valley. It's a rainy day, a cloudy day, thunderstorms. By all means, it's my favorite weather. I absolutely love it. One of the things that I love doing most of all when it's raining is I love coming out to the garden and just looking at the foliage on my trees and literally see the energy flowing through them simply because of the rain. You see, unbeknownst to many people, they're afraid to grow gardens, or they're concerned with what they call acid rain. If you understood the Bible from a spiritual perspective, you would never be concerned with the heathens and their acid rain. Let me tell you why. First of all, we're on a flat earth, and I'm not here to debate that and go back and forth. Okay? Remember, flat earth. And then we have a dome. That dome shields us from being able to get through that layer. The Father calls the firmament. Now listen up very closely. He says he sends the rain and the snow from the heavens. I don't know about you, but if we can't get through the dome and the heavens are above the dome and the rain and the snow comes from the heavens, man can't tamper with that. They could tamper with what's below the dome, and they've done that for a long time. But the Father's rain is a holy rain. It's a rain that not only washes away pollution and what we call pesticides and poisons and toxins, both in the air and on the ground. It's the reason why when you go to the rainforest or any wilderness, you'll find that the trees and everything come to life. There's flowers blossoming. You see, man's creation of what they call rain kills everything. You ever notice when whatever they're doing up there is always a horrible day, whether it's in the summer or whether it's in the winter or during the spring season? There's something about outdoors that just doesn't sit right with your consciousness, your spirit. But when the Father sends the rain, he says he will rain on the just and the unjust. That tells me a lot, people. It tells me that the rain that I collect, that I pour in here, not only is it good for watering the earth, the plants, and everything that's in it, but it's also good for me to consume. Everything just comes to life when the rains come from the heavens. You see, I'm out here. This is my apricot tree. It's literally as though it's on steroids this year. This July, 99.9% of my trees, with the exceptions of this Clementine mandarin, the Sanguinella blood orange, and the Santa Rosa plum, which all of these trees, these two here, have moved back and forth, but they're in their permanent home now. All these trees, including blueberry bushes and everything, this July would mark 3 years. Of course, with the exception of my peach tree. It hasn't even been here in a year. But I'll tell you something right now. If you see close-up photos of here, and I may take you folks over here, this thing has a ton of apricots, and they're getting larger by the day. You can't tell me the rain is not providing that, because rain has minerals. It has nutrients that not only the plants need, but our bodies need. This is why I don't drink as much water as I used to. Some of you may argue with that. But when you eat majority a fruit and vegetable diet, and you have access to adequate fruit. Fruit is made up of mostly water and nutrients. So if I sit there and eat a large watermelon, I would literally consume approximately anywhere between 64 to possibly 80 ounces of water. If you don't believe me, take an entire watermelon, cut it up, put it in your juicer, and watch how much juice you get. Let this be your thirst, for lack of a better word. If you want to hydrate yourself, do it with your natural foods. My bees over there, I just put a new brood box on because they literally swarmed the day before I was coming out to get ready to rescue them. And they swarmed to my old awari. I had an old awari, a little old one sitting inside of a container I've had for years. In fact, I need to bounce back. I've had that thing for a long time, and I was doing some experimenting on it. That's why it stunted its growth. But they swarmed there. Matter of fact, I'll put the video up right here. You can see me coming out because my wife notified me. And I clipped the branches and whatnot, put them inside the big black tote with the yellow top, and put another brood on, swapped some frames over, and I saved that part of the bees. You see, swarming, when it comes to bees, it's natural. And when your bees swarm, it's actually a good thing. It's a sign that your hive is healthy. It's a sign that your bees have grown in numbers. And they're moving on so that the younger bees can now build up the colony. And usually there's queen or queen cells left behind. A lot of people freak out when their bees swarm. And like, you know, don't. Means you're, you know, in most cases, it means your hive is healthy. They've outgrown it. In other cases, it can simply be because of infestation or you're not properly taking care of your bees. I haven't lost any bees. My bees have been good now for what, 3 years? And those are my traditional hives. Then I got my flow hive, and I'll talk to you folks a little bit more about that. But just looking at everything, even my Nagami kumquats, I've never seen bigger Nagami kumquats. Imagine these seeds. Imagine tossing them and a tree sprouts up. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I apologize for the smacking. They're good. But let me show you around and we'll get some close-up shots. And I won't waste you folks' time. I know you're trying to enjoy this rain also. So as we go on around here, you can see, besides my IBC totes that are already filled with water, I got my 45-gallon garbage can here, overflowing with rainwater, coming down from here, connected to that sprout right there, okay? And as we go through here, we see how absolutely gorgeous it is. And everything is just so flush. These are 40-gallon containers. I went to the business that I normally get these from, and I just wanted to see if things have changed since the pandemic. And because the company that originally sold them stopped making these. Well, the actually owner of the store, he says, you know what, you're a good guy. I love you so much. He says, you come in here, you make my guys laugh and whatnot, and so forth. I said, yeah, I'm Hakwai. And of course, you folks won't understand what I just said, but Chinese people understand what I just said. But he said, I'm going to give you the manufacturer's number. Maybe you can talk to them, see what they can do. So I contacted them, wrote them out a letter, sent photos in a small clip that's unlisted on my YouTube channel to them, and showed them how these have helped me through my illnesses and helped me establish trees and grow them. And if they can reconsider making these again. I got an email back from them, and you know what it says? You are an inspiration. And this is such a wonderful thing. We want to do something for you. We are looking to reestablish these containers 2 years from now in 2025. But for now, we do have a stock in our warehouse. So guess what? I just haven't responded. They're going to send me whatever number I want free of cost. I kid you not. I'm like, where am I going to put them? I know exactly where to put them. Free of cost. So I think what I'm going to ask for is 200, because I did tell them about my land and my property and how I would love them and so forth. And they asked me if I can just do a video and make sure I tag their name. And they're not a company that's known. No one knew about GrowPro nursery pots until I came along. So I'm going to get those pots in the Sacramento Valley. I'm going to be able to distribute them to people. Not free. They are for sale. Just because I get them free don't mean you get to get them for free. So 40-gallon containers, I'll have them. Isn't that wonderful? Sometimes all it takes is a heartfelt note and good communication skills. Works every time. But let's continue here, okay? We're going to go back and look at apricot. As you see it, it'll be completely full in the next month or so. But let's get a little bit closer, because I don't think you folks could see what I see. If you look, you'll see all of these apricots. They're all over the tree. There's so many that I was tickled, really tickled to see so many apricots. It's a healthy tree. Can't even get my arms or my hand around this one. And it's getting ready for its first feeding of compost. Lots of compost. And another little secret I give it. But that's pretty much it. Now remember, people, I have a beehive. That's my traditional beehive. 2 brood boxes. Those are not the only bees I got. But I'll tell you something right now. When the spring, or whatever you call it, started, it's not spring yet, of course, they came out and I literally heard zzz all over the almond tree, zzz all over this small peach tree that ain't even a year old in here. This is a Eva's Pride. And you can see little peaches forming all over the tree. Most of them are going to drop. This tree is not able to hold on to that many peaches. They are literally everywhere. And, of course, that apricot tree. Bzzz. Now, this is my Stella cherry. You can see that it's getting ready to come out of dormancy. Isn't that wonderful? I'm really looking forward to this one this year. And you can see that it's been pruned. All of my fruit trees, my stone fruit, have been pruned. You folks take care. Shalom to all of you, and thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, like and comment below. Tell me where your garden is at this time of year. Ask me any questions pertaining to gardening. I am a master gardener and a certified botanist. I don't just hold a certificate. I do the research, the scientific protocols that it takes to get things done right. I bring in hypothesis and I eliminate things through the process of elimination. Talk to me. Shalom.